All right, and we are live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Up and Moving. My name is Isaac. We got some more people to add. One moment, I'll start again. All right, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Up and Moving. My name is Isaac. I am a civilian, not attached to any university, but I'm a Tech alumni. It's great to be back. Great to see all the faces. Haven't done this in a few months, so it's had the opportunity to run a workout this morning. So it's really great to be back and see some familiar faces. So the goal of Up and Moving, see if I remember the catchphrase, is to provide a physical activity resource for the surrounding community. So this is a free resource that you can see here on Zoom, live on Facebook, as well as through other platforms such as YouTube and our website upandmoving.org. So make sure you check us out on all our medias. For today's workout, it's going to be a full body exercise. I like to pick this time some of the exercises I always felt that were delivered the most effectively, I guess we'll say, when I was writing this up this morning. So all we'll need is some sort of light resistance. Whether it's the soup can, if you have light dumbbells, something ranging from like anything less than 5 pounds. For instance, if we are raising it to the sides to do a lateral raise, or if I'll watch my ceiling tiles, but if we're going overhead, something that's not going to be too strenuous for you. Everything can be done, even body weight as well. So other than that, make sure you have your same old open space, have some water for some hydration. Add some new joiners here. And good morning to those who are just joining. So once again, to reiterate, have some light resistance this morning, whether it's a soup can, laundry detergent bottles. That always used to be nice if you have a handle that you can hold on to, and some water. So we'll give you a few seconds for that. We'll get my timer going. Should be about 30 minutes or so today. All right. So if we're ready, we'll just start off with the regular wide stance. We're going to reach up to the sky, especially if you're just waking up, or if you've been up for 5 hours, you got a lot. This is always a good stretch. You're going to feel in your lower back, as well as with our hands. You're going to feel nicely in our shoulder capsules here. So reach up, and then with our nice wide base, we come down nice and slow. Just sort of hang out from, you can sway from towards one foot to the other. You should feel this if you're keeping your legs relatively straight, the slight bend in it. Feel nice stretch in your hamstrings in the back of your legs. All right, we'll go through that one more time. So all the way up to the top once again. Then we'll come back down. Okay, now we can keep that same wide base, maybe shake it off just a little bit, and we'll work on some rotations. So you can keep your feet planted, or when you turn to one side, you can let the opposite foot come up. So as if I'm shooting a hockey puck or swinging a golf club. If I'm going to my right side, my left foot can come up to allow for more, really allows me to rotate more in my lumbar spine. So you sort of just spin here, nice and naturally. Should feel a nice stretch in our T-spine and then our lower back as well. And then at the end, we can just, with our feet planted, just a couple twists at the top, incorporating mostly just our upper body. Okay, now for our last final movement, we can go in the frontal plane. So just some teapots, I guess you could say. So as I come up here with my right hand over my head, I get to feel a nice stretch underneath. and I'm crunching towards the other side. We'll go 2 more each side. Okay, now we're gonna get into some arm circles. So just starting off with whether you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise first. We're gonna start off nice and small. So, and if that's too much strain on your shoulders, you can always bend them a little bit to keep the your hands not as far away from you. It gets a little easier the more we turn into a W. So as we go here, we start off small and we get a little larger. Feel free to, while we're doing this multitask, take a few steps around the room as we're getting larger until we're turning into an entire windmill here. Doesn't have to be fast, but just make sure you're using as much range of motion as you can, pain-free. Okay, shrug that off. Now we'll go in the opposite direction. And with this one, while we're going this time, try to get to a little bit of a side step. Until we're going wider, wider, and all the way. Okay, now to warm up our lower body a little more, we start off with some hip openers. So with this one, you can do it up and down in a straight line, or if you do need help, you can always hang on to the use the wall for support. If there's like a entertainment stand or something to use for support. But what the exercise is I'm going to hike up and rotate outwards. You should feel some a stretch or some mobility in right in front of your front pockets. So we'll go 3 more each leg. Okay, now we're gonna do some over and unders. So this is a little more of a hip mobility warm up, but then we're gonna incorporate our glutes a little more too. So we're gonna go underneath our imaginary rope. We'll go underneath it again, and then we can step over it, just like the hip opener movement. So we'll step back over it. Once again, underneath. So for me here, even using the camera, I can try to imagine that the line's starting at my coffee or at the TV stand here. So I'm trying to keep my head below it and then step over it. You can get the idea here. So we can pick up the pace a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, especially when it's imaginary. Not tripping over anything. Okay, now just to warm up our hamstrings a little more, do some scoops. Go 2 more each leg. All right, now before moving into our last little dynamic movement, which is some high knees. You can do high knees or some butt kicks. So whether you want to put your knee in front of you or sort of flutter behind you, we're just gonna try to get our heart rate accelerated here for about 30 seconds. You can even have your hands out in front of you. Try to kick them, basically. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and take a break. Well done. We should be warmed up. this will be a test for me to see if I'm still in up and moving shape, right? Got to make sure I can deliver this. Always got to be ready in case I get the phone call, right? Feel like I'm getting called up to the major leagues again. But so for our workout today, we're gonna do the Isaac special, 2 circuits of 3 exercises each. Instead of prescribing some reps for you, I'm sure you have, if you're a common follower here on Up and Moving, you might have a certain rep range in your head based on what we select today. But always remember, if we're going for 30 seconds, do as many as you can, but you can take breaks. You can move fast, you can move slow, whatever feels right for you. What we're going to start off with is a lower body movement. So we're going to do a body weight squat. However, we can progress this to a few different ways. Just a typical regular one. If you just want to do a body weight squat for 30 seconds, imagine there's a chair behind you where if your butt's going to go back, that means you're moving in a good way. Your weight's not too forward. If we're sitting back and we're weights on our toes, that's not very good. So I want to make sure that you feel in your glutes, you're sitting back, and that's excellent. Another way to progress today would be whether you're using your hands or a dumbbell is you can hold them in front of you. When you come down in a squat, on your way up, you can press. Squat, press. You always do that too, just body weight for a little more movement. So those are 3 sort of different ways that we can think about that this morning. Once we're done with our body weight, or excuse me, with our squat pattern, we're going to do a side shuffle based on however much room we have. However, the way to make it trickier is just to get back in that slight squat pattern. It doesn't have to be all the way down, but just even, you can feel, even with your glutes here, the second you bend your knees a little bit, and we're going to move side to side, maintain that same height the entire time. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for you. So we'll do that for 30 seconds. And then to end off, we're going to get either back into the high knees for 30 seconds or just some typical jumping jacks. So a little more high intensity aerobic training for about 30 seconds to incorporate the movement we've been doing. So bodyweight squats, either with a shoulder press incorporate into it or not, side shuffles in that squat position, as well as jumping jacks or high knees for a little bit of cardio at the end. So if we're ready, all I'll say is that if we're picking up dumbbells and putting them down, make sure they're out of the way before you get moving. Those are a pretty heavy tripping hazard. We don't want to see anyone hurt, right? So get a last drink of water. And if we're ready, we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So don't try not to burn yourself out too early here. Move at a nice pace. We're halfway there. Three, 2, 1. All right. Now we can move right into our side shuffles with our partial squat. So you're really going to feel this on the sides of our glutes, so our glute medius, which allows us to really move laterally like this. You can keep your hands out in front of you as if we're playing defense in basketball, or keep them at your sides. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. And then moving straight into jumping jacks, whether it's an abbreviated one where we don't want to leave our feet, or if you like the high knees, you can do that as well. But some sort of cardio for about 15 more seconds here. Three, 2, 1, and break. Great job. Everyone's doing excellent on the little squares I can see. And if you're joining on Facebook or watching a video from 3 weeks ago, I'm sure you're doing good too. We'll wait about 15 seconds or so before we get back into our next one or doing it again. We're going to continue this for 2 more times before we move on to some other exercises. So we'll get started here again in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So I'm going to do the press with the squat here. Make sure I don't put the weights through the kitchen upstairs. If you're doing the shoulder press here, it's a good idea to come down nice and slow and then explode on our way up. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Put your weights to the side if you're using them. Do a side shuffle here in our partial squat. And if you would like, you can always pick up the pace too. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, then move right into some jumping jacks. We're halfway there. Three, 2, 1, and break. Great job, everyone. Oop. Hope everyone enjoyed their summer. I was speaking to someone before the class, and goodness, yeah, definitely goes by fast, especially when you stay busy. Time flies and the colors are already changing. I know it's pretty in September and October, but we all know what comes after that. All right, so if we're ready, better be. We got one more time through here. Whichever has been working for you, keep moving with it, whether you're using weights or not, just some body weight. We'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. We got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done with that one. Get into our side shuffle. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, move right into our jumping jacks to finish off. Remember, take a break if you need to. Our goal here is just to move as much as we can while we're on camera here. Everyone's different, moves at different paces. Three, 2, 1, and great job, everyone. Take a well-deserved break. Grab a sip of water. Even take a seat if you need to. I don't know what it is, and I hope you all feel the same way once you're done completing these workouts too. Whether it's my first one or my 100th one, I'm always like the slightest bit nervous to get on camera, but then once you click play or record, and more importantly, once it's over, I just feel so good getting exercise done and working together as a group here. It's always a lot of fun. So there's one thing that I can take away from Michigan Tech. Dang, up and moving. This is a shirt in my closet for probably forever. So while we're done, or while we're finishing our break, we're going to incorporate a little less lower body, incorporate a little more strength training in our upper body. First one, if you have your weights around you, we're going to do a lateral raise for about 30 seconds. So pick something that's maybe a little lighter than if you're putting it over your head, because it's going to be a little more difficult. What we're doing is a nice slight bend in our knees. We're bringing our weights up. We're starting at our midline, bringing them up to a T. You don't have to keep your arms straight. That's a little tougher on your elbow. Even a nice slight bend, and really focusing on feeling a contraction where we'd have our shoulder pads on for football, right? The boys of fall. So that's our first one with lateral raises. Then our next one, for more of a tricep exercise and chest, I'll give you two options, whether you like them or you don't, then you can use the other option, but some push-ups in a couple different variations. You could do them right flat on the ground, do them from your knees, or you could go on the wall and use the wall for help. The less we fight against gravity, the more the less difficult it's going to be. If push-ups aren't your forte, then grab those same dumbbells. We could do some tricep kickbacks. We're getting ready for ski season, so standing up tall, bending our hips. We can start with our weights towards our chin, and then we're just straightening our arm. As you can see, my arm is the exact same, or pretty close, same line as my spine. You do one at a time or both at the same time. So that's our second one for 30 seconds. Then last but not least, we're going to do some very similar to our shuffle. However, we're going to incorporate some forward and backwards, just some shuffles in a square. You can do it to make it more difficult. You can jump. You make the squares as big as you want, or just stepping in that partial squat, incorporating a little more of that side shuffle. However, some more front and back movement too. So we'll do that for about 15 to 20 seconds in one direction, then we'll flip, go the other one. So we're ready to recap: lateral raises, tricep kickbacks or push-ups, and then some square hops or a shuffle. So we're ready. We'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. With these ones, a nice pointer is to keep our shoulders down. We don't want to be hunching up. If we are, then the weight's probably a little too heavy. We're trying to focus on just our shoulders right now, not our traps or our the ones above our collarbone. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now a tricep kickback or a push-up. I'm going to do push-ups. Three, 2, 1. All right. Then last, we'll do our square hops or shuffles. I'm going to start off with the jumps, but if you're going to do that, be aware of your surroundings. You can always just side shuffle it in the partial squat once again. So there's a couple different ways to do it. All right, we can change directions now for the last 15 seconds. Come back where you came from. 3, 2, 1, and break. Great job, everyone. So we'll go through this 2 more times. And then we have that last one with the square jumps. Once again, you can make it as less taxing or more taxing based on what you want to do. So just doing the side shuffle and our partial squat going in all different directions is great. You could jump. And then to make it the most difficult, you can jump and then incorporate a floor touch too. So you can go as intense as you like. We'll get going with our second set here in a moment. Grab a sip of water. And if we're ready, we'll get set here in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we'll move into our push-ups or triceps. I'll show the push-ups from the knees here. Keep that core tight, whether you're doing this exercise or the skiing one. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now last but not least, moving around in a square formation, whether we're jumping or stepping. We'll switch directions now. So go the opposite way. Keeping that partial squat definitely makes it a lot more difficult. Three, 2, 1, and break. So we'll do this one more time before we cool down and get you set for the rest of the day. All right, we got a few more seconds here. Then we'll get ready for our last one, our last hurrah. So grab your resistance. We'll get set here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So about 30 seconds or so of lateral raises. Take a break if you need to. Three, 2, 1. Okay. Now, Trevor, one you choose. Three, 2, 1. Break there, and then move right into our last square shuffles of the day. We do the pops here. We're halfway there. Switch directions. 3, 2, 1, and well done. We made it through. Woo. Catch your breath, grab some water. Take a seat if you have to. And whenever you're ready, you can come meet me in the center of the camera for just a little bit of a cool down. So we can honestly start with what, or we can finish with what we started with. So just some nice light rotations. Feel like this was a good way, this workout this morning, to have some full body strength, plus a little bit of cardio, keep our heart rate elevated. And we're not, hopefully not too tired. We can still go out and do the rest of our hobbies today. Still time to play golf, go for walks in the grass, not the snow. Do some household chores, cut the grass, whatever we need. I work at a golf course, so I gotta go do that after this. Then what we can do next is just some same reach to the sky. So we want to stretch out lower back once again. We won't hold it for as long. No, we'll come straight down. Maybe we take a little bit of a wider stance. We'll go from one foot to the other. So as you can see, the foot I'm touching right now, my leg's bent. My other one's a little bit straighter. I can feel a nice stretch in my hamstring and my groin. We'll go back and forth here a few times. Come up one more time. Reach towards the ceiling or whatever's above you. And we'll come right back down. All right, so that concludes everything for today. I hope you enjoyed it. You might not see me next Thursday, but I think it's 9 a.m. on Thursdays now, and then next Saturday at 10 a.m. So make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms and stay up to speed. And thank you for your continued support. So we'll see you next time, and thank you.